pinag-meet po nila yung effort natin in DRR and climate change dahil magkaibang meron tayong commission on the climate change in its body, and we have the NDRRNC. So, na-address po naman yan. For us, both the Climate Change Commission and the NDRRNC addresses the targets doon sa SFDRR, sa Sendai framework, no, for disaster risk reduction. And doon naman po naka-specify what are the interventions that would be required to be able to reduce yung mga impact sa ating population, sa ating economy, sa ating infrastructure, and reduce yung epekto ng climate change, no? And increase cooperation with other nations within the locality, development of plans. So ito po, pinagtutulungan po ito ng ano. And kung makikita niyo po, I guess we had a press briefing before on the NDRRM plan 2020 to 2030. Ito na po yung komprehensibo natin na plano that is aimed at achieving resilience, no? At by 2030. So lahat po ng ahensya ng gobyerno is tasked to monitoring yung kanilang compliance dito sa mga task nila na ito sa NDRRM plan. So, hindi naman po yan. Hindi yan nakakaligtaan ng ating gobyerno. And kagaya nga nitong, ang isa talagang target kasi ng Sendai framework is to reduce the casualties. No? That's why, kaya hina-highlight namin, early on, we warned the local government unit kung alin yung mga magiging apektadong areas. Nabanggit kanina ni Sir Mark that 1,000 barangays have been identified na dadaanan itong ano to, and ito kasi yung pinaka-prone sa flooding and landslide, and they were advised to do preemptive evacuation sa mga lugar.
Thank you, Asik Monilla, sir. And let me add po that continuing po ang efforts, the efforts for climate change adaptation mitigation are being done alongside our disaster risk reduction and management. Kagaya po ng sinabi ni Asik Monilla, we have the cabinet cluster on climate change adaptation, at sila pong nangangasiwa po niyan. Part of the yung mga outputs po or accomplishments po nito, yung ating malawakang pagtatanim ng mangroves, the mangrove reforestation activities sa coastal areas, yung pagtatanim po ng mga puno in the riverbanks in areas that had been affected by disasters before, to assist in the maintenance of the waterways po, yung natural waterways po natin, the passage of different laws dito po sa Pilipinas when it comes to natural conservation, as well as in the management of waste dito po sa ating bansa. Thank you for that. There's another question here from Ms. Bea Bernardo. What are the ongoing efforts to restore communication lines in the affected areas of the typhoon? Ang nakakatawa po nito, Asik Monilla, sir, if I may, our counterparts in the telco industry have deployed a number of their teams in advance din, as far as I've heard, para ma-monitor itong mga status ng mga signal towers po nila. At part of the preparations po, yung paghahanda ng kanilang mobile cell sites. If I'm not mistaken, one of the telcos have already set up a mobile cell site, some mobile cell sites in Cebu. Kaya po pansin niyo po, may mga areas po na intermittent ang signal, may areas po na may signal na because of these efforts. ongoing po ang assessment na ginagawa nila sa kanilang mga cell sites at pagkatapos po nito, susundan po ng pagkukumpuni. The commitment here is to ensure that they can restore services for mobile telecommunications at the soonest possible time for the convenience po nitong mga kababayan po natin dyan. Kasi this is a fact po and this has been observed by the at the NDRMC level. Bumabaha po ng pagtatanong ang mga kababayan natin kung kamusta na po yung mga kamag-anakan nila doon sa areas na naapektuhan po ng bagyo. At ito po ay ating kinokolekta dito sa NDRMC level at nire-refer natin po sa local government units para the moment po na magkaroon na ng pagbalik ng signal, kasi may libreng patawag nga din po itong mga telcos na ito doon sa areas na yon. Ma-facilitate po yun para kahit paano ma-reconnect itong mga kababayan natin in those areas. The assurance here is that everyone, not just in the telco but also in the power sector, are working around the clock to have all of this action, to have these services restored at the soonest possible time. Ang amin pong pagtingin, kasi yung iba nagsasabi baka 3 months pa daw abutin, lagpas pa daw ng Pasko. I guess what they're giving is the worst case scenario of how long it will take to fully energize itong mga communities na to or to restore communication lines. But we're holding on to that, even to that fact that they mentioned na they're going to do their best to have all these services restored at the soonest possible time para sa mga kababayan po natin. Another question, Palawan is where Odette exited and there are areas there that were flattened. How are we responding to affected areas in Palawan?
Well, based sa report ng ating Region 4B, no? Sa ngayon ang nag-a-address ng ng mga needs nila doon, the Palawan provincial government and Region 4B, no? Ito nga yung mga areas, kung napansin niyo the previous, yung last na na bagyo, wherein dumaan din sa Palawan, nagkaroon sila ng casualty, no? Nagkaroon ng flooding, nagkaroon ng may nalunod, no? But this time, Palawan had the initiative to preemptively evacuate this area. Kaya wala kaming, as of now, wala pa rin kaming na-receive na official report, no, from the region of a casualty diyan sa Palawan. So of course the long-term rehabilitation of the place will be done by the agencies of government. Ang focus natin sa ngayon kasi is the immediate response sa operations doon sa affected population para maski paano mapaalwan natin yung kanilang mga kalagayan sa ngayon, no? So yun muna ang immediate concern ng ating ginagawa.
Opo, and sir, we received information, if I may add, this is courtesy of Assistant Secretary Goddess Libiran of DOTR, that prior to the arrival of Odette in Palawan, nagpreposition po ang ating Coast Guard ng dalawa pong kanilang sea assets, si BRP Cape Engaño and BRP Capones in Palawan. BRP Cape Engaño departed Puerto Princesa today, I think, if I'm not mistaken, en route to affected areas to deliver relief goods supplied by the Provincial Disaster Management Office. So tuloy, meron pong response na nangyayari doon to support the relief effort doon sa na pinangungunahan ng mga local government units. There's also an ongoing effort to restore communication lines doon sa area. Sa ulat nga po, sa paunang ulat na binigay ng ating Regional Disaster Council covering Mimaropa, meron pong silang nabalitaan na casualty doon, but this is still being verified through our counterparts po doon sa ground. Check ko lang, sir, sandali, sa dami ng message na ko po. Ano ba itong memo na to ng casualty? Dali.
Pero ano to, based sa report ni
Director Karandang, sir.
merong unidentified na ano to, no? Unidentified. And they are verifying it.
Correct, sir. Three cadavers were found in Rojas, Rojas City. I think Rojas, in the municipality of Rojas in Palawan. And there's an ongoing effort to verify the identity as well as to determine the situation, the circumstance of death of these three unidentified persons pa as of this point. So yan po yung paunang impormasyon na nabalitaan natin from the Mimaropa area, pero continuing po ang ating effort. In the conversation that I had with Director Karandang yesterday, I think he was also talking with Asik Munilla on this one. So far, they had no casualties sa Marinduque, Romblon, Occidental Mindoro, and Oriental Mindoro. The PNP covering Mimaropa deployed teams in Puerto Princesa, Palawan, but we have not received any report of casualty as of this point in Puerto Princesa. We are still working to restore the communication link between these islands so that the reports of the disaster managers po ay tuloy-tuloy na makapasok po to the Disaster Council in Mimaropa going here to Central. May tanong si Sir Dano, ilang Singaporean national? So far po, ang nakita ko lang po, isa lang po itong Singaporean national na ilista po. Pero ongoing pa po ito on the part of the Coast Guard. Nasa pag-uusap po natin ngayon na nagpadala po kami ng follow-up po kung meron pa tayong mga kababayan. Kasi may mga naabutan, Sir Asik Munilla, may mga naabutan na kababayan tayo, local tourists din, na nakauwi na over the weekend. So that means the travel arranged, the support for these travelers done by the Coast Guard and I believe supported by the Navy as well para makapunta sila sa pinakamalapit na operational na airport ay patuloy po na isinasagawa ngayon. So makakatanggap po tayo ng balita niyan as reports come in. At what point will the government allow foreign help? Hindi naman po natin pinipigilan po ito talagang foreign assistance po na ito kasi usually po pag nagsabi po sila they're ready to help, wini-welcome po natin yan. Kapag nagpadala talaga sila po ng tulong, wini-welcome din po natin yan at tinatanggap po ng ating pamahalaan. Susuriin po itong mga pinadalang items po na ito at atin po itong inuugnay doon sa mga pangangailangan ng mga communities. So ito pong proseso po na ito ay tuloy po na ginagawa in coordination with if it's a foreign government po through the assistance po yan lagi ng ating mga kasama sa Department of Foreign Affairs. There's another question po, Asik Munilla. During Friday's NDRRMC presser, you said you did not expect massive damage, but it appears that is not the case, sir. Was there something the government was not able to anticipate or see at that time? And did the government anticipate rapid intensification of Typhoon Odette? Is there anything about the forecast being way off for this storm?
I guess wala tayong problema with the forecasting. It has been ang forecast naman ng Pag-asa was clear, no, and factual, and tama naman po yun na umabot tayo ng typhoon signal number 4. My statement there then was because of the immediate actions conducted by the local government unit to be able to put as much population out of harm's way, no? Nabanggit ko nga sa inyo that DILG and the local government unit follows the Operation Listo protocol. So nasa labas po ng nasa labas pa lang ng ng Philippine Area of Responsibility. Nag-uumpisa na ang mga directives and memoranda ng DILG to local government units to prepare based on the list of protocol. Naka-specify po yan. Habang papalapit ang bagyo, dumadami po yung checklist na yan for them to be able to undertake. And one of that is the conduct of assessment ng kanilang mga lugar. Actually, we are using the list ng MGB for the landslide and flood zone area. And we also have the localization of the GeoRix PH of CBOX DOST. Dito po, makikita kasi kung yung lugar mo ay apektado. So, these are all being reviewed by the local government from down, galing sa barangay level up to the provincial level. So, with these systems in hand, unlike the previous, noong unang panahon na wala pa tayong masyadong develop na mga ganitong protocols. I was really expecting a lower number. And I cannot siguro make conclusions now. No? Bakit nangyari si ganito? Bakit lumaki? Because this has to be studied and investigated. Titingnan natin so that mabalikan po natin bilang disaster manager, makita namin and we will make the proper adjustments in the future para hindi maulit. Because a life that is lost can never be reported back. So it's not just about counting dead bodies, because these are lives lost, no? So kami po as disaster manager, lagi continually ina-assess namin ano pa ba ang kailangan namin na improve para mas mailayo natin ang ating mga kababayan sa kapahamakan. Because we cannot prevent the occurrence of calamities, no? Darating at darating ang bagyo, darating at darating ang earthquake and even volcanic eruption. But we need to prepare. Preparedness is key. That's why the ALD is really hell-bent on doing this para mas mapaghandaan ng mga local government and mas prepared tayo na salubungin. Because without these things, we cannot say na resilient tayo. Di ba? So, I was proven wrong doon sa assessment ko yan na mababa. I was expecting a lower number. And as it appears now, coming from the reports, sabi nga ni Sir Mark, those are projections na tinitingnan natin na probably yun ang number talaga ng ating casualties. And to add, meron akong nakita kanina is the 3 na nandun sa report ng Mimaropa would be counted. Yes, nandun po yan sa it should have been placed doon sa 58 na ni-report ng ating NDRIMC of 10 because this number is still for verification. So hindi po natin iiwan ang na yan because nakita yan and it's still being investigated para ma-identify natin yung pagkakailan na sa mga tayo nito at malaman ang circumstansya ng kanilang pagkamatay.
Thank you very much, Asik Monilia, sir. Although, alala ko doon sa conversation natin during the press con was initially there was no report of massive damages pa during that time kasi we're still waiting for the reports of the local government units. And the disaster managers were telling us that so far wala pa pong report of major damage. And I guess that was an initial perspective given by Asik Monilia that kasi dito kami sa NDRMC po, ang ating pong, although we look at the worst case scenario in our preparations, we're always hoping po na sana hindi ganoon katindi ang maging impact ng isang emergency like a storm to our communities. Kaya po I would like to put into context siguro yung sinabi ni Asik Monilia noon that in that preliminary stage of our monitoring, we continue to hope that we were hoping and we continue to hope that these damages, although we're seeing right now na ganun ka talaga katindi yung damage, but at the initial stage, we were always hoping po na hindi ganun katindi along with the casualty count. Kasi kahit alam niyo naman po, ang target natin is zero casualty. Kaya kahit isa lang po yan, masakit po sa amin. Paano po kung umabot na nga po, kagaya doon sa mga projection na nakikita natin na more than 100. This means that even though there so much preparations have been done by the national government, coupled with the preparations done by the local government, meron pa rin po talagang dadaling pagsubok itong mga emergency na to, na talagang susubukan yung ating kakayahan sa disaster management. What we would like to highlight now is that hindi naman po nangyari, di ba kino-compare nila ASEC Manila, sir? Some people are comparing it to Yolanda because of the degree of devastation. Some people are telling us that yung period na nangyari itong si Odette, parang kagaya kay Sendong noong panahon. Ewan ko kung nasa Mindanao kayo ng mga panahon ni ASEC Manila. It was still during your incumbency in the AFP pa, di ba? But the difference here, the stark difference, if I may be allowed to say, is that in Yolanda and in Sendong, we lost thousands of people upon the arrival of the storm. Si Sendong, dumating siya gabi. Ang dami din niyang pinatay nung gabi na yon. Si Odette po, dumating din siya ng gabi, tumawid sa kalupaan ng Pilipinas gabi. Marami pong naapektuhan, but ang konsuelo sa amin po dito sa disaster managers natin is that hindi naman po umabot sa ganong karami ang mga nasawi compared to Sendong. Malungkot na meron po tayong mga napapabalitang nasawi, pero ang ginagawan po natin ng paraan yan para yung mga kasamahan po natin na nakasurvive doon sa ground, marespondehan po natin lahat ng pangangailangan po nila. Kaya doble kayod po ang lahat ng ahensya ng pamahalaan for that purpose. Thank you po. Sir, another question. Sir, clarify lang po, do we add the 3 recovered bodies in Rojas, Palawan to the 58 dead reported? Hindi pa po natin hindi pa po kasama yan doon sa 58 as of now. Kasi
Wala pa yan sa 58? Unidentified yun di ba?
Yes sir kaya hindi ko pa masabi na kasama siya sa 58. But
I was of the idea that since kasama ito for verification yung 58 because we only have 4 confirmed.
Yes sir, but so far ano pa lang po ito but as of now po to our counterparts, to our friends in the media, hindi ko pa po gustong isama itong 3 na ito, but I'm not sure whether the operation center had already included that. Kasi parang
we will ask them, no?
Yes, sir. But as of now, the reporting pa rin po. For the purpose of the reporting, 58 po muna tayo. But these numbers are sure to change as the hours go by as we receive reports coming from the regions. Ms. Karen also said, sir, if the 208 figure reported by police is confirmed, will that make Odette the deadliest since Haiyan? Parang, sir?
Sabi ko nga, I cannot, the circumstances, sabi mo nga, the circumstances and the events that took place are, so I cannot make conclusions now.
Pero I think, sir, because of this degree of devastation, sure na mawawala na sa listahan ng pangalan ng bagyo tong si Odette. Because of the damages that we have incurred coming from this storm, but it's too. I guess it's too early to say. But
we just accept the numbers as it appears now. No, let us do not make conclusions because marami pa pong gagawin dyan to assess what went wrong. No, nasasaktan ako. Speaking on my personal view as a disaster manager, nasasaktan ako sa ganito karami, no? I would have wanted a lesser number kagaya ng ginagabi ko nga. And we cannot conclude anything now. It would take time for us to be able to investigate and identify what were the loopholes of the plan, what were the saan tayo nagkamali or ano ang nagkulang, nagkamali. But ano ang nagkulang when it comes to this casualty. So, it is just 208 casualties kung confirm talaga yan, no? Because we will surely invite the agencies in the upcoming press ko na ina-arrange niya, Sir Mark, para ma-clarify natin sa kanila what were the basis ng kanilang mga data, no? And also with other agencies na tasked in the conduct of response operations para mapabilis kanilang mga services sa ating mga kababayan, sa mga apektadong. So ako, I won't make conclusions now na ito yung second, no? Because there might be some other things.
Tama naman din po sinabi ni Asik Muglia kasi parang maaga pa nga, sir. Given although what Miss Karen is asking is kumbaga projection.
The number, because of the number. No?
Kasi po, although ito po
contentious pa rin yung 208 kasi. No?
Correct. Kasi sa
number we just evaluate it as a number attributed to the report of the PNC. And the NDRC will still have to talk about it and finalize it. So, hindi pa siya ganun ka.
Meron din kasing instance, Asik, if you can remember, na pag ganitong panahon, given that we have communication problems, sometimes it happens na yung isang casualty nare-report ng 4 o 5 beses and unknowingly, ang ating mga local counterparts, binibilang nila to not as a single casualty but multiple casualties. And that raises the significance or the importance of the verification procedure. Doon po natin kasi minsan nakikita na number one, napabalita palang patay, inuulat sa police, but later to find out that the person is just missing and was later found elsewhere in an evacuation center. So, kumbaga, hustisya din po dun sa mga kababayan nating buhay na hindi po natin agad binibilang yung ganitong mga impormasyon hanggat sa makaabot po tayo sa yugto na talagang sigurado po ang ating pagbilang. So, there. Do we have questions in the social media posting? So, okay. Asik Manila, sir, do we have further questions, ladies and gentlemen?
Maganda pong antabayanan natin yung ino-organize or at least na pag-usapan namin, Mr. Mark. I hope this will materialize. That in succeeding press briefing by the NDRRMC, we will invite the other agencies that are concerned, no? Na dapat magbibigay sa atin. Para iisa na lang din ang reporting natin. Focus on the event that transpired. So, we will do that. And mas magandang pan po yun. Mas magandang makapag-participate tayo doon para magkaroon tayo ng mas klaro na idea on the extent really of this of the damages of Odette, no?
Thank you, Asik.
Ako meron akong mga naiisip na kupaldan on the damages, no? But I cannot share it with you because personal view ko yun and I'm not an expert on infra, di ba? Pero may ko dyan, may mga personal views ako dyan but I would like to reserve it to myself.
Thank you very much, Asik Manila, sir. Nakatanggap din po tayo ng mga impormasyon ng ating Pangulo po ay patuloy na nag-iikot sa mga apektadong probinsya. Ang ating nga pong Executive Director, Yusek Halad, even though he really wanted to join us here with Asik Manila, mukhang nandun siya sa Visayas ngayon, sir, as part of the activities for the inspection.
Kanina nasa Iloilo siya no?
Nasa Banay Island po.
At I guess, pumunta na siya ng Negros, no?
That's
So, in
correct.
compliance din doon sa order sa kanya ni Presidente. Actually, when we had the first, di ba? We had the first briefing sa kay Presidente, sabi niya our executive director assured the President that he will be moving the following day, immediately the following day. So, magkasama sila ni Secretary Andanar, pumunta kagad sila ng Siargao. Then after that, hindi na po bumalik si Yusek Salad. Marami siyang activity rito na so,
Yes, sir. Pero what's important here, sir?
All of this the position na talagang ikutin niya yan. And pagbalik niya, hopefully, we can invite him to join us sa ating press briefing po para ma-share niya sa atin yung kanyang experience, yung kanyang observasyon doon sa mga lugar na kanyang napuntahan.
Yes, sir. At part din po ng pagdalaw ng ating Pangulo doon sa mga areas na naapektuhan po ay mayroon pong delivery din. Kasabay po ng Pangulo dumadating ang delivery ng mga augmentation relief items doon sa mga locations po na yan. At patuloy po itong mangyayari. Wala na pong mga tanong ng ating mga kasama sa media kaya nagpapasalamat po tayo. Of course, kay Asik Monilla na sinamahan tayong muli. Natutuwa ako at hindi ako mag-isa na dito. At tuloy po ang ating pag-uulat sa ating mga kababayan tungkol po sa ating isinasagawang operations para rumisponde at tumulong sa mga naapektuhan po ng Bagyong Odette. Papasalamat po tayong muli sa mga kasamahan natin sa pamamahayag. Dahil kayo po ang nagpapaabot, ang nagiging tulay para maabot po ng ating mga babala, mga ulat at mga gawaing pangangalaga at pangkaligtasan ng ating mga kababayan. Kaya po kung sa kabila po na may ganitong mga developments na meron tayong mga kababayan na nasawi dahil po dito sa bagyong ito, gusto ko pong tingnan din yung more than 400,000 na katao na nag-evacuate dahil dininig po nila ang ating panawagan for preemptive evacuation at sumunod sila sa ating mga local governments. Itong pag-evacuate ng mga kababayan po nito, more than 400,000 people po yan, ay nagtagumpay, nangyari kasi po sa tulong po ninyo, mga kasamahan natin sa media, na ipinaabot po ninyo ang ating mga pakiusap sa kanila. At tuloy-tuloy po nating babalikatin ito pong operations na ito for Typhoon Odette. Asik Monilla, sir, do you have a final word to our friends before we conclude this meeting?
I don't have any final words but magpasalamat lang din ako ulit sa ating media partners. I guess medyo nahihirapan din po kayo to evaluate yung data from other sources and data from us. Rest assured that we are doing our best to be able to put the alignment ng mga reports na ng lahat ng agency. And patuloy po ang NDRRMC sa kanyang pagpapatupad. Ang OCD, ang role po kasi ng OCD dyan, sa NDRRMC, kami po yung pinaka-secretariat. So kami yung repository ng mga information. But it's really very hard to get reports sometimes, especially yung connectivity ng ang ibang agencies din hindi kaagad nagbibigay ng reports because ayaw din nila mag-submit sa atin ng partial reports. So in the coming days, we will be able to address this. I hope that you will attend again sa next na invitation ng ating PAO. Hopefully, it would be the joint press briefing with other NDRMC agencies. Thank you very much po sa inyong time and effort na patuloy na suportahan kami and makuha yung data at ma-dish out sa ating mga kababayan yung balita. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Asik Monilla, sir. And sa mga kasamahan po natin, dyan po nagtatapos ang ating press briefing. Pero bago po kayo umalis, ito po ang mga official na contact details natin para sa ating donation coordination activity dito sa NDRRMC na pinangungunahan ng Office of Civil Defense at ng Department of Social Welfare and Development. Ayan po ang ating mga official na numero at yung mga priority needs po ng ating mga kababayan, yan po ang ating talagang kailangang maihatid sa kanila. Ano-ano po ba yan? Mga food supplies, hygiene materials, isama nyo na po yung mga face masks, shelter materials kagaya po ng mga tents, shelter repair materials at lalong-lalo na din po ang tubig. Ito pong mga numero na ito ay meron po tayong mga kasamahan dito na laging nag-aantabay para masagot po ang inyong mga katanungan. Hindi po mangyayari na kami ang tatawag sa inyo dahil ang ating focal person po ay ang siyang tinatawagan at siya po ang magko-coordinate ng inyong mga assistance na gustong ibigay sa ating mga kababayan. Hindi po kami ang tatawag. At kapag meron po kayong mga donasyon na salapi, cash donations can be deposited to OCD through our Development Bank of the Philippines account in Camp Aguinaldo. Yan po yung mga details namin, Philippine Peso account and US dollar account. Tandaan po natin, pag tayo po mag-donate, dun po sa mga trusted po natin, yung mga lehitimong mga organisasyon na tumutulong pag ganito pong mga panahon. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, atin pong tinatapos ang ating pulong balitaan. Salamat po muli sa ating mga kasamaan sa media at magkita-kita po tayo muli bukas kapag we will be issuing the necessary media advisory po para sa ating susunod na press briefing. Again, marami pong salamat at patuloy po tayong mag-ingat at magtulungan. Balikatin po ito, ang pagsubok na ito ni Typhoon Odette. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon po sa lahat.